This video is brought to you by our friends at Ecoflow. The iPhone's new operating system, iOS 26, will be released in about a month from the time of this video, and I thought I'd take one last flyover and share with you a few of the more standout features, things you probably need to know if you're going to upgrade, including one hidden gem you won't believe. Hi, my name is Rich. I've made a few videos on iOS 26 over the summer as the beta versions have been enhanced with the new features and fixes. My take on iOS 26 is that it's an entirely fresh coat of paint for the iPhone. It has a new look Apple calls liquid glass that's taken a while to grow on me. I love fresh new looks, but I felt this version came out of the gate and then, tripped on the curb and hit the ground. But Apple has enhanced and polished on this for months, and now things are beginning to look so much better in my opinion. And I think that's what Apple is aiming for with this year's update. A new look with a lot of customization options. Now, to be sure, there are a lot of enhancements to various apps, and I'll get to those in another video. But this update is squarely focused on the introduction of liquid glass and how you can make your iPhone personal to you. So in today's video, I'm going to show you the updated look of the lock screen. They've changed a few things. How one of the lock screen features has now migrated to the Photos app. The updated look of the home screen apps. The new look in Messages. The simplification of the Camera app. A look at battery management. It's been around, but it's worth looking at again. And then if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll show you how you can control your iPhone with your face. It's unbelievable. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to you about is just the new lock screens. We'll start there. So I'm going to slide down from the top and bring the lock screen in. I'm going to press and hold. And I'm going to slide over to where we can create a new lock screen. So I'll hit the plus. And here you have a number of different options. Photo Shuffle, that's kind of cool. If you tap on that, it just chooses a bunch of photos from your photos library, and you can tap on Use Featured Photos. And then if you want, you can just tap and change it. And if you'll notice, the size of the time changes, or it goes behind things like that. And it'll change on its own, just like that. If you don't like that, and I think that's a cool feature, you can use this new 3D feature. So I'm going to go into Photos. And I'm going to go into All. I'm going to find a picture of Scout here that I made with Image Playground. And if you'll notice, you've got a little box right down here. It's kind of hard to see. It's a little hexagonal box, and if you tap on that, it'll turn it into a spatial scene. And so now you have Scout in 3D. And I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it is kind of neat, and it's a great way to do it. And you can go up here and you can pull the time down, and it'll actually go behind Scout's head. Now if you tap on it, you can only do that with this particular number right here. If you switch over to this number, there's no option to make it bigger. Those are all like they were before, but if you choose that first number, then you can get it big or small, and it'll go behind or in front of the photo that you have on your home screen. And I like that, so I think that works pretty good. I think I'll make Scout about right there. And then I'm just going to click on Add. Well, before I do that, if you notice you've got widgets down here, you can actually move those widgets up here to the top if you want, or you can move the widgets down to the bottom. But now you've got that 3D feature. I'm going to click Add. Like that. I don't want Scout to be blurred, so I'm going to customize my home screen. I'm going to take that blur off of him, and I'm going to click Done. And just like that, we've got Scout as a home screen, and we pull him back on the lock screen. He's kind of 3D. That's kind of neat. And that's one of the new features of the lock screen. Hey, now is a good time to tell you about today's sponsor, Ecoflow. Their line of chargers are some of the best I've ever seen, certainly the most convenient to use. Up first is the Ecoflow Rapid Power Bank. With a large 25,000 milliamp hour battery, this device is built to charge. Two connections can be made with the clever built-in USB-C cables, one of which is disguised as a sturdy functional lanyard, and another that easily pops out of the top of the bank. But there's also two more connections, one more USB-C and a USB-A, that can be used simultaneously with the other two USB-C cables for a total of 4 charging connections at one time. And it's fast charging. It's a fast charging arsenal, with each of those USB-C ports providing 100 watts of output power. Not only does it charge your devices quickly, it's fast at self-charging too, up to 50% in 30 minutes. With the innovative TFT display, you can easily monitor the battery level, charging power, and charging time. Ecoflow also offers a 45-watt 2-output rapid charger and a 65-watt 3-output rapid charger. They're not only sleek and stylish with foldable plugs, both offer the same clever built-in retractable USB-C cable. No more worrying about forgetting to pack yet another cable when I'm on the road. Unlike so many other chargers on the market, these support fast charging devices, making them future-proof. The 45-watt charger has an additional USB-C port, while the 65-watt charger has additional USB-A and USB-C ports for even more charging flexibility. All of these chargers are perfect for home or travel, and when you hold one in your hand, you'll immediately know this is a premium product. Be sure to check out the links in the description below to learn more about Ecoflow's fantastic chargers. Thanks to our friends at Ecoflow for their support of this channel. And now back to the video. Next up is to show you how that 3D spatialing that works on the lock screen, it actually works on photos in your photo library. So I'm going to open up the photos library. I'll choose this picture of me right here. And if you'll notice, I have a little icon up here that allows me to turn it into spatial, so I'm going to tap on that. And now it just turns it into a spatial photo. And once again, you can kind of see how I move a little bit behind it. It makes it sort of a 3D look. And that's really interesting. But it's the same thing that they do on the lock screens. And you can do that with, with any of your photos that you have. I'll try to find another one. It's just photos that have depth of field. They need something in front of them. So here's a picture of the phone and we've got something behind it. I'll tap on the spatial. It knows what to do, and now you can see how the iPhone kind of moves around a little bit. I think that's kind of cool. Next up is how iOS 26 has changed the apps on your home screen. So here we are on the home screen. We've got a series of apps up here. We've got a series of apps in the dock. If you tap and hold on your home screen, you'll go up to Edit, and you have some options up here. You can add a widget, you can customize, you can actually edit your wallpaper from here. And if I tap on Edit Wallpaper, you can see that I can change colors, I can add a different photo if I want. I can actually change the wallpaper. We don't want to do that. We'll leave Scout right there. But that's one of the options that's up here. But I want to go into Customize. If we go to Customize, now you can see that I think Apple has finally landed on 4 choices. The app icons can be the default, so if you like them that way, you can keep them that way. They don't have to change. If you like the dark look icons, you can choose those, and we've had those. But clear and tinted are things that are new with iOS 26. So if we tap on dark, you'll see all of the icons go to a dark color, and I actually think that looks pretty good. But you can, depending on your taste, you can change them another way too. So we'll go to Customize. We'll make it clear. And now they're all clear. That's sort of that liquid glass look, a very glassy look. That's the clear look, and maybe you like that clear look. Again, if we go back and go to Edit and Customize, our 4th way of doing is doing tinted. And here you can change the way the apps look, the colors, all of that kind of stuff, and make them a tinted app. And so now they try to match the background of what's going on, but you can change them to any color you want. And here I do believe dark mode and light mode. No, it doesn't change it really all that much. But again, if you tap and you hold, you go to customize, you have these three choices: default, dark, clear, and tinted. One last thing you have is a little icon square and a larger icon square, and those represents the size of the icons on the home screen. So if you tap that and you turn it over to large, they get bigger. They lose the name of the app underneath the icon. So if I go backwards, you'll see that it's added reminders, calendar. If I make it bigger, it does away with the names. I happen to like dark, so I'm going to leave it at dark. But that's the new ways to customize the home screen. So Messages has a new feature in it. Again, it's all about customization and looks. If I open up this app and I go to text that I have with Lindsay, right here, this is what it normally looks like, just Messages. If I tap on Lindsay's name, right there, I now have a little option here that says backgrounds. And if I tap on backgrounds, I can choose different backgrounds. Choose one from a photo. I can choose a color, which is very interesting. And if you choose a color, you can swipe through and choose different colors for this particular contact. If I don't like that, I can go to Playground and have Playground generate an image of something. And I won't take the time to do that. You can choose sky. And again, you have different options when you choose sky. I happen to like that clear look right there. You've got water, same thing. You can scroll through white light and dark water. And then you have aurora, like the aurora borealis. And you can choose through a few options there. But I think I'm going to make it color, and I think I'm going to leave it right there at ice. And then when you tap the plus, you've done that, and now you can go back to the messages. And now not only do you see this, but it's my understanding the recipient on the other end sees this as well. So it's a colorful way to make messages a little funner. I think that's what Apple was trying here. For me, if I actually use colors on them, I'll begin to relate the color of the text message with the person, so I'll know quickly who it is that's sending me a text. But again, a nice little cosmetic feature in Messages. The next thing I want to talk about is the camera app. So they've changed the icon for the camera app. It's now just like a big lens. But if you tap on it, you now have just video and photo down here. And I really like that. Now you can tap on it and hold, and suddenly you get all these options that you had before. It's not like they went away or anything like that. Apple just came to the conclusion that most people use video or photo, and so why not just have that show up like that? So if you're in the photo mode, you do have some options up here, these little dots. You wouldn't know to touch them because they're way up at the top, but if you do tap on them, all of a sudden you have some options down here for the way in which you'll take your photograph. Same thing with video. If you go over there and tap on these, you get a few options down here. What's easier to know, and just something I discovered, is if you swipe up somewhere near the button, you get those options right there, and you don't have to go up to the top. If we go to photo and swipe up, we get the same options that we had up there. So it's just an easy way to control, but I think the thing that's going to be handiest for most people is just they open the camera app and they can get straight to video or straight to photo. And then if they do want to do some customization, they can swipe up and get to the customizing features very, very quickly. So I think that's a good enhancement in iOS 26. So the next thing I want to show you is battery management. I've never really fooled around with battery management. I mean, I don't go and stay on my iPhone 24 hours a day and then run out of power at 11:30 at night. I'm in bed. So usually my phone is on the charger and it's not an issue. But I do know that charging a phone to 100% all the time apparently does reduce the life of the battery. So Apple has fixed that, and you can come in here and go to settings, and you can go to battery, and now you get a bunch of information right here. You can see where it was last charged. You can tap on that, and it'll tell you about battery health and your usage and what this stuff means in here. So that's a good informational place. You get daily usage over here. But if you go to battery health, you'll see it says normal, maximum capacity 100%, cycle count 69, and when the battery was made back in 2024. You can't change any of these. There's nothing you can do there. It's just informational. However, if you do go to charging, you can change the charging up to 100%, and it says change the charge limit, and if you just set it to that, now the optimized charging battery option is available. And what that does is it manages how quickly the battery discharges and charges. It's a way to keep your iPhone battery healthy. From what I'm understanding is it's better to just simply slide this down to about 90 or even 85%. And once you do that, this is no longer an option right here. Can't do anything with it. That only becomes an option when you've set it to 100%. So the best thing is just take it down probably to 90 or 85%. You know how you use your phone during the day, and you'll see whether you can get through it or not. But it's a way to manage the life of your battery, and it's important to know. Okay, if you stuck with me this far, I want to show you this incredible feature found in accessibility. It gives you the ability to control your iPhone with your face, with facial expressions. So this is for somebody who has a hard time with motor skills, and I think this is a really great feature offered by Apple. If you go into settings, and then you go into accessibility, then you slide down to head tracking, you can see that you have a lot of different actions that your iPhone can see. It can see you raise your eyebrows or open your mouth, whether you smile or stick out your tongue or blink your eyes, scrunch your nose, pucker your lips to the left or right. And when you set those up, you can choose anything. So for smile, I chose App Switcher, but you could open a menu, single tap, secondary tap, action button, double tap, front camera. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do by just simply smiling at the camera. For this example, I've chosen App Switcher, and then I have also chosen, when I blink my eyes, a single tap. So that's the equivalent of taking my finger and just tapping on what I'm looking at. So once you have those set, you can turn on head tracking, and I'll close this out. And now we're back to the home screen. So if I smile, and there I've opened up the settings app again. So I'm going to smile, and then I blink, and I open up the podcast app, and I smile again, and this time I'll go back to podcast, smile, and I get to the camera. So it takes a little playing and getting used to, but the whole idea is that your camera is watching you, and if you struggle using your hands to control your phone, you can set this up in a way that you can use your face. And once you get the hang of playing with it, it works surprisingly well. Just a neat little feature. So that's it, a short flyover of iOS 26 and the new look it brings to the iPhone. Let me know in the comments below what you think of all of this. I'd love to know. Okay, as always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.